And welcome back, everybody, to Game Arena Valorant. And I gotta tell you, I am most excited for this next match, so I'm just hoping we hop into it as soon as possible. We have a grudge match, or a friendly rivalry, or whatever you want to call it, between the CSU Vikings green versus the CSU Vikings white. It had to happen sometime in pool play, and we are blessed to have it on our screen. Also blessed to get a new map, too. Going to Split. I know it was out of the map pool for a while, but I'm really excited to see how these two teams fare on this map, especially because when you're looking at, I guess, collegiate Valorant teams, you're looking for scrims. You probably scrim in-house between your A team, your B team a lot. Not technically sure which one is A, which one is B here. I will say, according to the roster, CSU Green has two Radiant players, three Immortal players, and Vikings White has three Immortal players and two Ascendant players. So maybe a slight lean towards CSU White. But in terms of the matches that have actually been played, Akron Gold lost to CSU Vikings White. Then Akron Gold beat CSU Vikings Green. So theoretically, if I'm doing my rock, paper, scissors correct, I feel like CSU Vikings White might have a bit of an advantage despite the potential lower ranks. So we'll have to see how these two teams face out in this friendly rivalry between both CSU teams. And honestly, what I'm kind of most excited for is sort of seeing the switch ups for both teams. Or for, I guess, the team we get to see the switch up for, CSU Vikings Green, they're going to have YU onto the Rays. They're going to switch Shuki from Astra to an Omen. Definitely a more playable character on a map like Split, a map that's like a tiny bit smaller than Haven. The Omen smokes can get a bit more value. And it looks like the CSU White team are stacking for this four-person stack towards mid. They want to be able to rotate into this quick and fight this as a brawl. 5 versus 5. CSU Vikings Green, though. Get themselves on site. No damage dealt just yet, but a lot of smokes up in the face of both teams. And this is going to be an absolute brawl through the blender for both teams. Still no exchangements, but the Aftershock can do so much in these situations. YU catches first blood onto Crow. Ribby goes down too. And even Zozacombe is there for a single trade. Oh, we almost got a knife on screen. You can see laughter, even from the CSU White side of things. They're thinking this is going to be a very, very fun match between both teams. And I love just the vibe that I feel like we're going to get from this match. Both teams have to have like a full strat book for themselves, but they're also going to know the entire strat book for the other team. And if you're the CSU White team, the team that's technically lower in rank, you definitely want to beat this CSU Green team. Show them that you are the true competitors. Bump yourself up on this standings leaderboard and potentially fight for the 1 and 2 seeds in bracket play. Lion taking his way into sight, but the Omen blind, it's not quite there. Allowing Zacombe to stay a little bit past his welcome and get a little bit more damage than you'd expect him to get. But that was the only weapon that CSU White have. The rest of their team is just pistols. It's not much else to fight back into the site with. Wouldn't complain with a death to Spike, but hey, if you're Crow, you can get those quick blinds. Maybe trade one out, make it very punishing, and the Viper spin at the feet of the players almost deals enough damage to knock one of the CSU Green players out, but not enough. And CSU Green able to hold on to 3 guns. I really think the most impactful damage is going to be the damage to sort of the shields, because they'll have to buy up full shields again, or in some cases get themselves a half shield, or what I haven't talked about yet, those new regen shields that came into play. The ability to take a hit, step back for 1 to 2 seconds, gain your shield back, and then fight back in. in early rounds, it's so impactful because players aren't necessarily having that vandal. They're not having that one-shot potential on their side. And CSU Green playing the map a bit differently. Went 2 hits towards A in a row, and they're actually leaving one of their players over there exquisitely with a bit of a lurk, but it looks as if they're sending more towards mid. They like to play these third rounds extremely slow. Their bonuses, the only thing you can ask for is, you know, deny as many guns as possible, and if you get a win, that is more than enough in most situations. That's exactly what it looks like for Green here. Quick pop flash out. Not able to catch Levy, who's tucked down. Omen Blind floats through. Another smoke to sort of lift Levy into this position. And CSU Green, they're taking names on the site, on the point. And Zacome attempts to get one trade, but is chopped straight to the ground. Now Crow in a deadly position here. Flash in his face. And even though he manages to catch Wyu, not going to be enough to stop the slow slip that is going in favor of CSU Green after their victorious bonus, forcing CSU White now onto a save.
This goes
Still
here.
some decent guns for Vikings White. They have the double stinger, and they have a good amount of util to play with as well. Can definitely get some damage, but it looks like some conditioning is about to come in to play here. It's a quick push towards the A site, and it's a fake out towards B. The issue is they have to break this trip, they have to respect it, so it's going to give up. The true hit is on the B site for CSU Vikings Green.
Wow, my eyes are down.
And that was a perfectly executed sell. They even invested the Sky Seekers into that Sky ultimate, able to do a lot. But it looks like CSU Vikings White, they want to fight this back with Seekers of their own to push out onto site, potentially catch anything, but that's just going to end up being a waste. So one ultimate used when they had lower guns, they were expected to lose that round anyways. I kind of worry about now the ults they're investing in, especially on a save like that. Like, Nos with the kills that he got, it's already back up to 3. Well, Zacome only is 1 for ultimate charge at least. I'm exquisitely waiting to set this Cypher cam up. Probably. I want to see exactly where this goes. Actually, it's 2 lineups for Cypher cages to sort of potentially deter any pushes up the A site. And it's another one of these splits from CSU Vikings Green. It's a 2-2-1, leaving their Cypher over towards A site to just gain information and prevent the push up. Oh, and Nos, he's played himself in. They hear the presence, but when this smoke drops, if he's not cleared, oh, Levy sneaks out at the last second. They still don't know Nos is here though, and the flash is so good, but the timing isn't there. Levy cleans it up, well blinded too, mind you. The trade does come in though, and another one in exchange. So now, Wyu needs to pull out the showstopper to break their way onto site. Needs to be really careful about that HP though. 1 tick from basically anything. And technically 2 Cypher tripwires, enough to take them out, but the exact same with Zacome here. As a Rolling Thunder gets sent in, a flash, you're completely blinded, you're completely stunned. Zome just sent home. But Nikyus wants to push up, wants to push in, has Revy at his side, a satchel to blast themselves forward. The double swing is there. And CSU White is on the board with their first round. That's sort of all you need here to start the ball rolling in your favor. Start the momentum pushing towards you. I'm looking at the money, and it still looks, all right for CSU Green. CSU White is going to manage to scrape together some buys, keeping Levy, somebody who prefers that mid hold with a... they're actually going to switch over. Levy's going to get the Vandal, and the Raze is going to get the Buckies for some maybe potential explosion out towards mid. But no, it looks like it's just going to be a hold from CSU Vikings White, but it's going to be a fast push for Vikings Green. And I gotta say, YU off those double blast packs looking so good to just boost himself into the site. That's pulled the entire hold that Vikings White was putting on mid over to the A site. And now the push has been called. Ugil has come through. The flash from Zacome a bit too late. A bit too scrappy. And the cleanup is in for CSU Vikings Green as they get the plant down. Still 5 members strong, 5 members standing. And Niku's looking to find maybe even just one, and he's not able to get it. Flawless round there for CSU Vikings Green as they just clean up shop. And I want to start to see CSU Vikings White maybe fight more for that control. The characteristic difference with these two compositions is the CSU Vikings Green team have that double initiator, while CSU Vikings White have that double smokes. I would love some smokes to be put towards A, and then for some control to start being taken. But little do they know, this is actually a push towards the B site. And Nos shows he's good for not just 1, 2, maybe even 3 here. A supporting flash gets sent through all the way up. Does not hit its mark though. And Levy, unfortunately, taken out mid try to step from Shuki, leaving Zacome as the last one standing. Wanting to find some damage, create some damage wherever they can. And Nos' aim, I mean, man, it's just been impeccable thus far. He's hitting every single shot he takes right now. And there he is, top of the leaderboard. Both kills and assists. So, very impressive overall stat line. But now we're coming back into another buy for CSU Vikings White. But it seems like their strategy hasn't really changed up that much in terms of who's playing where. And CSU Vikings Green, they have 3 basic strategies. One is the fast hit A, one is the slow 2-2, 2-2-1, and it looks like it's going to be a 2-2-1 situation where they're able to get favorable trades in their favor. Now Seeker's out through mid to create some disruption, create some chaos. YU does manage to pick up the kill, supporting fire to Nos in that situation. And YU getting a bit fancy with it, those blast packs, sending him every which way, but into a good enough position to pick up 2 more kills. CSU Green showing that, maybe the map they lost to Akron Gold, even though CSU Vikings White did beat Akron Gold, was potentially a bit of a fluke, leaving some doubts in my mind as a caster of who's really the best team here. If we truly rock, paper, scissors ourselves between CSU Green, CSU White, and Akron Gold. So now White on another low buy here. Oh, I don't think that's where he meant the cage to go, but that sometimes happens. Sometimes we mess up the lineups. Either way, doesn't matter too much. The push isn't there. It's more on to the A site. The showstopper looks like I might have connected for some damage, but not going to connect for enough. And now Niku's in a very dangerous position, backed up by Levy though. And they're going to be able to equalize, but the neural theft is in for the defensive side. They want to keep fighting back into this, but it's a 3v3 situation. And Niku's looking for this lurk. It's going to be a split push, 2 out from heaven. And Nikki's needing to find value onto Lion, but Lion knows the gig is up. And Nos there for the cleanup as well. An 8-1 lead thus far. And Vikings Green still have more opportunity to add on to that. And for CSU Vikings White, part of me feels like the hold for them, it just isn't strong enough. They need to put their foot down somewhere and say, this is where we want to hold. They haven't pushed out really much of anything. So if you're forgoing a lot of presence and just letting your smokes and letting your Cypher util do all the work, it may get you one, but it won't be everything. And now, Viper's Pit active through mid. It's going to hopefully try and take away a potential lane that the CSU Vikings Green want to push up. But they're already up onto B. And A. Just look at the positioning for CSU White. They're just cluttered in the spawn. They don't know what the push is, and they don't have any information to figure that out. Sure, they have smokes up holding on either side, but when it's this close, when it's this personal, those flashes are so easy to hit, and those trades so easy to find. And Lion, Breach doing Breach things, dumping his entire kit onto enemy players, and it's more than enough when Shuki just lurked through your entire backline. It's again another round that looked almost flawless, and it's just because they did such a good systematic job of taking space B, then taking space A, forgoing mid, letting themselves get the slow lurk up before the fight happens, back CSU Vikings White into a corner, and then take them out.
That goes there. This goes here.
Back onto a fuller buy for CSU Vikings White. One that maybe gives them the opportunity and Revy the chance to pull this showstopper. A lot of jokes made in the Valorant community about showstopper getting 130 damage, 140 damage, but hey, if you let it loose mid, at least it's 130 or 40 damage on two different players. But why use the one who does draw first blood onto Crow? And immediately if the position is taken away, that Cypher Trip's not going to do anything when they're coming up your back through vent. But luckily the trades are in. But Levy doesn't know about this lurk position. And oh no, Levy exquisitely going to get that kill. And also the reveal onto the positions of the two remaining CSU White players. And one of them just being so low in this situation. Nikuz is going to have to save at this moment in time. You want to keep this Vandal for the last round. That's exactly what he's going to try to do. Still has Trip and a Cam to defend with. We'll see if Vikings Green want to go hunting for this. Maybe try and deny a gun. Hey, they have the eco too. And only one more round after this one for both teams' respective sides. And it may be a bit of a slow creep out, but they're going to pass by with no damage done on either side. As we enter the last round, I mean, Nikki's going to have that gun, but it's still a scrappy buy for CSU Vikings White. Not able to truly put a stop to, I guess, the complete flood of initiation from the side of CSU Vikings Green. Nas and Lion have just been great with their support of util and also the kills that they've been getting throughout.
Blinding.
11 assists for Lion, or 11 assists for Nos. I believe 6 for Lion as well. And it's a boom bot. It's a dog. And it's literally YU, and it's the exact same situation yet again. He just walks up. The condensation isn't there, but now it is. Levy had a nice idea with that push out there, trying to get a punishment. But man, when people are hitting shots like CSU Vikings Green are, so hard to find it. And Revy has a showstopper. Last round to use it here. Could come in big. Doesn't need it for the first kill. Taps one with the Guardian. Pushing it into a winnable situation. Needs to find a way to get value with this showstopper though. Otherwise it's going to be so slow. Okay, Revy gets the second head. Looking for more. The nade to flush the angle. 3 on the cards. He saw the angle. He's going to be able to collect with the help of Niku's onto the 4th. Clean up for CSU Vikings White when they needed it most. They're going to get themselves up to 2. That's the question of, is that enough? And some even say that Split is a more defender-sided map. That statement, I think, more so holds true when you're running the double smokes, though. With just Omen on a map that's conventionally played with traditionally 2 controllers, I'm not sure if the advantage is necessarily there. But for CSU Vikings White, I'm really looking for people like Revy, people like Zacome to open up this map the same way that YU did on the attacking side, just jumping in, pushing all the way through. This battle towards A, if it does happen, will definitely be a big one. But it looks like Vikings are gonna instead opt for an informational play up through mid, getting through all events, which is exactly what you want that dog to do. But CSU Vikings are just gonna disrespect that. They're stacking more players towards A main for a potential fight. Well, Levy's just holding. And they have a trip here, too. So Levy could look to punish off this. He wants to take the angle. He wants to take the swing. And he finds 2. Levy coming up monumentally. But does he realize Line's position? Now tucked in to this corner. Up on ramps. And it's such a cheeky one to be in because they think they already cleared Line. They think, no way, somebody's there. But surely enough, Line holds the line, but has so much more to do. A flash in hand. Timing almost perfect, but too little too late. As Exquisitely managed to pick up 1. So now 2v1. The players I was asking on before need to do so much work. And Zacome gets the damage. It's just a question of, can Revy get the cleanup? Has blast packs and a grenade in the situation. A lot of time to stall. Realizes he only needs the body shot. Lining it up just right. And hits his mark. So now 2 in a row for CSU Vikings White. But I'm definitely not going to call it a comeback just yet. I need to see a couple more here to truly prove that it is. But it is definitely a good situation for CSU Vikings White. They're basically buying as much as they need to, but not necessarily as much as they can. They want to make sure they set themselves up good for the next round, assuming a couple of the players go down, which is a fairly good assumption. And now Dog goes up. That's going to clear. And it's just a very, very scrappy position. Niku's actually going to manage to find 3 through A main. Another attempt at a push-up from CSU Vikings Green. And now it's just how many orbs can we farm? How much can we do in these final moments? Luckily, they get the spike down for CSU White. And I'm not sure if CSU Green necessarily got that orb. But not much damage done to CSU Vikings White. Levy, the only one who doesn't have as much of a buy, but I think they're okay with that. They're okay with potentially foregoing this round. They're obviously going to give it at least a bit of a shot, but foregoing it for the potential to buy up whenever they lose their next round. But if they can win this round, that's when momentum starts shifting into CSU's White's favor. But nah, so good for it. Unfortunately, that Sky Heal cannot heal them, but it's definitely a very meaningful trade here. Niku's testing the water. And I love how you can see the stylistic similarities between how both these two teams play their attacks. You see the Cypher or whoever be in that position solo hoarding that A position if they want to go there. And then a lot of, I guess, pressure towards mid when you want to go slow. And if it's a fast hit, it's either B or A, either way, you know? Interesting to see between two teams who play at the same university. Maybe could even have a similar coaching staff for both teams. It'd honestly be fun to just talk to one of the coaches after this. If there's a coach for both teams, just like, hey, how did this team do? How did that team do? Give us the realistic analysis on both. Niku's trying to jump this camera and eventually gets it, but that's all just a bait. Plant's coming down onto the B site, and now this is a question of lurk on lurk here. Niku's up on Heaven with a stinger, the perfect weapon to punish Nos. Meanwhile, Shuki on the opposite side of things. The first exchange will be between Exquisitely and Crow. Exquisitely wins that one. Nos does catch Niku's as well. And Levy, last one standing, needs to be the hero in this situation, and definitely could be. 1v1 situation. Look at Nos HP. It's been at 5 this entire round. This has been a slow round for them. Levy's low too. Can he get it in time? Yes, he can. And you can see the energy. They're starting to get confident. CSU Vikings White. They're starting to get the kills up. Miku's and Zacome jumping up to 10. And Levy with that 3K. Definitely going to be feeling a lot of this energy. At this point, it's buy as much as you can. It's a very tactical buy from Revy though, going for that outlaw, realizing that everybody on CSU Vikings green, they're going to have half shields or no shields. This outlaw for Revy now becomes a better operator if he can manage to use it to his advantage. CSU Vikings green, even on these weaker buys, they're not afraid to show a bit of presence. Set up for these plays. Look at how deep this lurk is for Shuki. And you might not be aware of it if you're Levy. No, you aren't. Shuki capitalizes, gets a gun, and gets out too. That's the big thing. He can now return that back to his team, giving themselves not only a numbers advantage, but a Vandal to work with on this potential retake. But space is being taken. They hear the footsteps going up through vent. It's going to be a single lurker player. Well, 3 players from the side of CSU White are going to walk up and through. That Vandal definitely putting in work though. But it's going to be very retrievable. But a call for rotation from CSU Vikings White. They want to get this free plant down. The question is, can Ryu read into this? Looking for the kill here. Going super aggressive, and Revy catches him at just the right time. And now, I can start maybe considering using the word comeback a bit more seriously. As it's been 5 in a row for CSU Vikings White, and they've been flawless on their attacking side. Showing that split definitely isn't just an attacker-sided map here. But now, getting to the point where multiple alts are on the table. The Seeker is probably the most impactful in Zacome's arsenal. And it looks like it's going to be a fast play towards A, taking control of A ramps here. But still cut off by that tripwire. And the angle from Exquisitely is not perfect. In fact, it may be one of the most imperfect things, but Shuki's there to clean up and fight through those Seekers. Keep control of Heaven above A. Which is a very important control to have. Knots cleans up as well too. All in the back of Levy.
Precision kill.
And Solo Omen in Crow. And they know where he is. They know exactly where he is. Paint shells go in, and the kill is cleaned up. And CSU Green looking just as clean as the attack side now. Maybe feeling a bit better about this half. Not letting the streak of CSU White wins continue. The good news is, though, CSU White has saved up a lot of ultimates here. They can go in with that showstopper. They know that typically there's at least one of the CSU Green players playing towards the heaven position. So I'd love to see the showstopper used in that position. It's actually going to be used towards site. It's trying to clear out exquisitely, but he managed to back up. Space is already gained, though, and the Viper's Pit is going to be invested. A great investment. They're trying to bank everything onto this round, and they're sacking basically everybody around this Viper's Pit. The only issue is you have the breach ult to fight back into it, and that's going to be a lot of damage. It's a quick flood, and kills are coming in. Are they aware of the flank through heaven, though? And yes, they are. All on the back of Revy. Can he do more than enough? And no, he cannot. A 1v5, not just winnable in that situation. And they're farming right back towards Lion's ult. Hey, remember, he uses ult that round. And getting 3 kills and the defuse has a chance, if this goes to a long series, to definitely get another Rolling Thunder up and running. And I was singing the praises of CSU White on the attacker side initially. But now I'm starting to wonder, is it going to all fall through? Is their castle that they built going to come crumbling down? Have to wait and see what the adaptation is for this moment. 4-1 split out. Fight committed over towards A. Does not seem to be a fake approach. This is real. This is dangerous. Nobody's holding up in heaven. Nobody's there to greet them. CSU Green. Great for these retakes. I've said it time and time again. And now an off spotted, which makes the pull towards A even more favorable. Lions looking to clear down and actually finds the kill onto Zacome. So now mid control gathered, but the control that CSU White has over ramps might be more deadly. And they've left a single player over towards the spawn. A potential fight to go down, and Levy's gonna win that one out. Catching it exactly when he needs to. Niku's also gathers his one from the shadows, invested in. If there's one ult to counter that ult, though, it's gonna be the neural theft there. And CSU White saving themselves from a potential demise. And they're trying to push this map closer and closer to that overtime that they need to get a win in this situation. Luckily, from here on out, though, if they keep winning, they're going to keep having these full buy after full buy after full buy. No, not really stressed for money in the slightest. Obviously, bit of, oh no, full shield for Levy as well, too. And it's this round for momentum back in your favor. CSU White feeling like a very momentum-based team. The push and pull of not just the map, but their mentals over time. And Shuki's pushed up here. Hits the headshot onto Revy. Needed that one with the Outlaw in hand. But a quick trade comes in. It's a slow push, though. And Wayuk, Showstopper, comes in to clear back through B main, take that space back, and regain a bit more of CSU Green's map control here. You can see they're playing for it. They haven't cleared Lion. Now they have. Niku's good for it. Gets the heal back up onto his side. Wire's going to trade back, though. So now 3v3 situation. One where the health definitely taking a bit lower for Niku's. We'll see if he can open this up with a kill. Levy's on alert, though, but it's read by Nos. Advantage for CSU Green on match point here. They need it. They need it desperately. But will they walk in the crosshair of Exquisitely? He's set up so well, so perfectly. They realize they need to kill Nos. Exactly what they do. 2v2 situation. You got to remember that Exquisitely definitely has a body to look for if he plays back, but he doesn't even need to play back for it. Gonna find one. Trade out by Niku's, and now it's all on the back of this player. Niku's versus Wayu. has a very nice camera up to watch all of this space. He's going to realize no matter where the push from is going to come from, he's going to realize exactly where it is. And he sees it, just needs to land a headshot, playing it so slow.
Cage
A
three.
dangerous situation. Cannot play for time here. Needs to go for some type of play. That cage is going to fall. And will he be the one to win? No. It will not come to fruition. CSU Vikings Green will take the win over CSU Vikings White. In very close match, though, for either teams. And I see this map, and I am not trying to discredit CSU Vikings White at all. They played excellently. The first half, I think that was just bit of nerves playing against the team that knows all the strats on you. I'm really excited to see how they adapt in potential future matches between these two teams. The only two teams from the same university here. First match goes to CSU Vikings Green, bumping them up to a 2-1 stat line, putting them currently tied for that second place spot in the bracket, which is exactly where you want to be. And we'll see if we can grab one of these CSU players for a interview at some point in time, but I will say we do have updates on the other matches that finished a bit quicker than this one. The Sussy players took down Marin Tech Leaders 13-5, and OSU Scarlet took down Akron Gold 13-9. A very close match, but one that bumped OSU Scarlet up to a 3-0 scoreline. If they win one more, they should be guaranteed to be in that top 2 at least on this next day. And right now, they're in a really good position to get themselves there anyways, with CSU Vikings White and CSU Vikings Greens as their 2 next matchups for OSU Scarlet. And I believe we're going to be getting somebody for an interview very shortly here on this map. And that interview is going to be with Leanne. Leanne, I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly.
Yes, you are.
Is
Hi.
Leanne? I think I said
Leanne.
both.
No, you
Leanne.
said it correctly,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, perfect. How's it going, man? First off,
Good.
congratulations on your win.
Thank
I got
you.
the privilege of watching you 2 times in a row, so
Thank
I'm
you,
very
thank
happy
you.
here.
I know the first game wasn't really, anything special, but we did pull it together in the second game, and we felt a lot more confident.
Yeah, looking good. And I actually want to start because I do have the privilege of, I guess, talking to somebody who technically lost the game. Usually I just get a winners.
Yeah.
But you did lose against Akron Gold, and that match was on screen. Talk to me a little bit about how that matchup went before we get into the CSU v CSU.
Okay. Akron Gold, I mean, going into it, I'm the type of player that really doesn't, have any expectations, and that's not belittling my, opponent or my team. Really, I was just looking for a solid fight, and Akron Gold, they gave us that. I'll admit, this might be an excuse. We were, all a little bit wary of the 2-hour drive down here to Columbus from Cleveland, so we were, kind of sleepy, and we were a little bit late to react. But I mean, overall, that was a really good game defensively on Haven. There, I mean, Akron Gold caught us off guard, a couple times, and like I said, we were a little bit quick or delayed in our reaction time, and so they did get us they did get a pretty good lead defensively. Offensively, I mean, I think everything just kind of exponentially went downhill for us. If I could say, I don't think we did bad. It's just I think we could have done better, and that's how I look at the game. And I mean, we showed it in the second game.
Yeah, no, and I totally agree with that assessment. And it was just that lead that they had on defense. You kept pace amazingly on the attack, and it felt like it could go any which way when it came down to those final rounds, But
Yeah.
let's move on to the match that just happened. Let's move on to your win. CSU versus CSU.
Yeah.
Can you just first talk to me about, was there any banter between the two teams ahead of time?
Oh my gosh, there was so much. I mean, okay, well, there was a lot from me to to our white player. His name is Zakomi or Zakom1, and I mean, me and him, we just have great chemistry, and I was just staring at him across the room, and it was just banter. He would kill me, he would give me a smirk, I would kill him, and I would like give him a boom. That's like our thing here. I mean, yeah, there was banter for sure, yelling across the room and all that. It was a lot of fun.
And I gotta ask, so I'm assuming because you go to the same university, do you guys scrim each other very often as the, I assume, top two teams at Cleveland?
I mean, surprisingly, the answer is no.
Oh.
Because we have our own schedules, and since they're so conflicting, we haven't really had the chance to scrim them. And so this was pretty much like our first game against each other, if not to count our tryouts. But that doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then, I don't know, just talk to me a little bit about like the team synergy, the team vibes at this LAN. Right now, you've bumped yourself up to 2-1, so you definitely have a chance to compete for one of those top two spots that will get you a vibe. How is the team feeling for CSU Vikings Green?
For CSU Viking Greens, I will say the underlining tone is we are here to compete, and we definitely will come back around. And I pray to God that we win this whole thing, first place. As of right now, how it stands, we are hungry, and I think I'm going to, after this interview, go to Jimmy John's and give me a BLT. That's where I stand.
I will also be grabbing some food after this interview. That's so fair. I'm going to hit you with two more questions.
Okay.
You got the match against Sussy Players and the match against OSU Scarlet coming up. Those two teams are the highest-seeded team, including yourself. Have you done any preparation for those matches, or is it just stick to the plan, do what you've been doing best, and outgun the other players?
I mean, War, right? War. You said it perfectly yourself. It would be the latter here.
Okay.
We have come to this LAN, well reversed in most of our maps, and I believe that we trust each other, or at the very least, I trust my teammates as much as hopefully they trust me. And I think going into these next two games after the break here, I believe that we will come out strong. I sincerely believe that at this LAN, we will give it our best, because who drives down 2 hours to a LAN to just slack off? You know what I mean?
True.
That's inexcusable. So, yes, 100% you'll see the best out of CSU Green here.
Yeah, and trust obviously a big factor, and I'm really excited to see you throughout the rest of today and tomorrow when you didn't have the drive like today where you were sleepy beforehand. So maybe we haven't seen the best of the CSU Green.
No.
Maybe that's to come tomorrow. But final thing, I want to ask you, do you want to give anybody a shout out, any promotions, shout out any teammates, coaches, any of that stuff?
Any promotions? I mean, I want to shout out my director. His in-game name on League is Tarp, but his name is PJ Farrell. I love the man. He has done everything for us at Cleveland State, from our very new lab down to, all the equipment, and just being a great director and being one-on-one with everybody in the program. Besides him, every single person on my team, from Ashton to Eric, to Isaiah, to Zaire. I love them all, and I mean, besides them, I'm doing this for my family. I actually come from Texas, so I'm a little bit far from home, so I'm here to definitely compete and give it my all. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, I'm so glad I got to talk to you, Lion, here.
Thank you.
I mean, I wish the best for you throughout this tournament and the rest of your teammates. So, best of luck. I am going to say my goodbyes. Go get a big lunch, because you got two big games coming up after this.
See you later, man. Thank you very much. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.
Yep. All right. Well, that was Lion of CSU Vikings Green. Great to hear from the players, but I think as he said, and as I said, and as probably everybody behind the scenes have said, we're getting a bit hungry, so we're going to actually take it to a bit of an extended break, let the players get food and rejuvenate, be back here around 2:30 Eastern time, I believe. I'll maybe get confirmation. Maybe the timing is a bit off on that, but we will be back with more gaming arena Valorant action at some point in time. It's been great casting for y'all, and I look forward to closing out the day with every single one of you. Bye-bye now.